Hello everyone, and we are going to be talking about Back to the Future in this video. Let's go through the whole story. So once upon a time, there was a boy named Marty McFly. He was friends with this old Dr. Brown. You know, Emmett Brown. What? I'm talking about Back to the Future. Anyway, Duck has brown hair. Just kidding, he has white. Alright, Back to the Future came out in 1985. Back to the Future 2 came out in 1989. Back to the Future 3 came out in 1990. That's my favorite time travel movie, so. And kind of one of my favorite movies of all time. But I didn't say Coco was my favorite movie. That was my favorite cartoon. So make sure you pay close attention when I watch these videos. When I make these videos. I'll watch them. So Back to the Future, yeah. So Marty McFly, he goes to school. He's in love with a girlfriend named Jennifer. Aww, girlfriend. Anyway. So anyway, Marty, Duck has a hard time inventing things until he finally makes something. Every time when he invents something, it always fails. This one doesn't fail. It's a time machine that actually works. He proves Marty that it's a time machine by taking Duck, like 1 minute into the future. And his theory proves right. But then he steals gasoline from a drug store, and he gets in trouble by bandits, and they start shooting him. And Marty takes the car and goes 30 years into the past, from 1985 to 1955. Where he bumps into his parents, just like kind of in Once Upon a Time, where Emma interrupts her parents' meeting, and she has to get them back together before going back to the future. Same with Marty. You know, he meets his dad, George McFly, and tries to and prevents them from ever meeting on accident, from a car crash. George McFly was supposed to be in a car crash, and that's where he was supposed to meet, Lorraine. Anyway, since that didn't happen, Marty's been getting George to go to the dance to meet Lorraine, and they got in love. Fortunately, they got them back together, but he was stuck for a week. He has a newspaper about the lightning that struck at 10:04 p.m., and it stopped the clock on the school clock tower for 30 years. And then when he goes to the future, it's 60 years. But anyway, the clock stops. But anyway, it mentioned the lightning bolt stopped it. So the only thing that powers enough power to get the car machine to time travel again is a lightning bolt. So that's what they do. They use the lightning bolt. And yeah, there's a fly. Anyway, they cut it very close, but they plan this experiment, and Duck ties cords together, puts cords on the car, so when the cords connect, the lightning bolts go straight through it, and it puts the car in time travel mode. Anyway, it goes back to the future, and once upon a time, that's how the time travel episode ends, but in Back to the Future, it's not in. Duck, when Marty thought Duck was dead at the beginning by those bandits, turns out he was wearing a proof vest, so it turns out he was alive this whole time. But then he wants to go to the future to see what it's like. And then he decides to take Marty and Jennifer with them. And as they go to the future, Marty mentions this magazine that can tell you the scores up to the 21st century. And so, fortunately, he wanted to use it to get rich. It wouldn't keep him rich for long, but up until 2000 it would. Anyway, he wanted to bring a little info from the future. Yeah. Anyway, Old Biff steals the magazine, though. Goes back in time to 1955, not 2015. That was 3 years ago, not 30 years in the future. It was actually just 3 years ago. Anyway, and they go back to he goes back to 1955 and then gives it to the other Biff who used to bully George McFly until Marty taught him to stand up to bullies, and he uses it to get rich, and it changes the ultimate reality. So when Marty goes back home from the future, it turns out he's from an alternate dimension, and he goes back to Duck, and they have to go back to the past, because if they go back to the future from this point in time, it will be the future of that reality, so it won't work. But,
And this is for if you want to play with her in the bathtub. You can put the water here, and you can put the water here on your
anyway, they go back to the past, they stop Biff, eventually, and, well, magazine's gone and burned and all that kind of thing. Anyway, Duck gets the car machine ready, and right before they can go back to the future, and after they stop the past and all that stuff, a lightning bolt strikes them back to 1885, and so now Marty goes to the Duck he used to work with to get back to the future, to go back to the past and save his friend Duck, from the Wild West, which is part 3 of Back to the Future. He goes back to the Wild West, and he has until Monday before Duck gets shot, before he's dead, and anyway.
Did you really think we couldn't get out of that box, huh?
Anyway.
One, and they're all out of the box? I confess to you. That mission was so boring. We didn't even need to use our superpower.
Imagine if another Marty... So, the young Duck had to help 2 Martys. Sorry, guys, I had a lost in thought there for a second. But what I just realized is that, the Duck that helped Marty get back to the future in part 1? Right after that, in part 3, the other Marty runs in. And, with so many Martys, you don't want to believe that they're from the future or anything, Anyway, yeah, it's kind of funny. I remember in the video game at the end, all the Martys were coming at the end. So I can kind of say, even though these were real Martys and not the fake Martys, It's kind of funny that, that how would Duck know that they're real Martys? There's too many Martys coming. If Marty keeps coming back from that, then you're like, I don't think he really time traveled in the future. So the more Martys that come to ask for his help, the more he won't believe them. So luckily it was only 2, but imagine if another Marty showed up after he went back to the West and went like, Duck, I need your help! Duck, I need your help! Anyway, it's funny. But he goes back to the West, and Duck falls in love with Claire and doesn't want to leave, but unfortunately Marty has to convince his mind that they're from the future, and so fortunately there's no gasoline, but they use a train to get back to the future. And this is their last time going back. And unfortunately, Claire tries to come along, and Duck wants to save Claire, and it was a close call, but fortunately they used the hoverboard, but unfortunately, by the time Duck saves Claire, the machine goes back to the... It just goes back to the future. If I was Marty, I'd probably jump out and stay with Duck, but oh well, boom, boom, boom. And then he gets sad that Duck's gone. The time machine gets destroyed. And then he comes back in a time train. But he mentions he's not going to the future or past. He's just going somewhere else. I know that poster just fell. But I'm almost done with this video, so I'm going to keep it down. But, comes back saying your future hasn't been written yet. No one's has. In that future, it mentioned that Marty was in a car wreck. But, it also mentioned he wasn't stupid enough to race those dudes. So, that was good. But at the end, yeah. At the end, Duck leaves. There's a cartoon series where he does come back, and he has 2 boys, He has 2 boys at the end of the 3rd one, but he has 2 boys in the cartoon one. And they become neighbors and friends and all that stuff. There's 13 episodes of season 1 and 2. There's 26 episodes. There's not that much. But anyway, after Back to the Future Part 3, it says he left at the end. And there's been YouTube videos on YouTube making fake trailers for Back to the Future 4, but I know they're not doing that. They mentioned there was supposed to be a 4th one in 2011, and 2015, and 2017, but 2018, but they're not doing that. But someone made a fake trailer where if there was a Back to the Future Part 4, it probably would have started right where Part 3 left off. But unfortunately, since Part 3 aired in 1990, it's kind of late to do a 4th one. But I mean, like, Incredibles 2 took like 14 years, so I guess it's fine. But actually, it's been more than 14 years. It's been 28 years, so I wouldn't do another one if I read them. But good. 3's a good nut. I hate on numbers, I know. And I wish there was 4, but even if there's not 4 Back to the Futures, I still like it. You know, it's time travel, you know. They said 3 was a better number, you know, 4 is just boring even, you know. That's what they said. I remember watching their movie about how they made the show. I like to say that is the Back to the Future 4, you know, just to make it even. But I don't watch it because it's not technically a movie. It's just them talking about the movie. So I still watch 3 movies, even though it's odd numbers. I already watched them, each movie, more than once. So who knows? I watched it 6 times, 9 times, 12 times. It might even be an even number because of all those 6 and 12s and 18s. But then there's a 15, but I don't know how many. Usually when I watch Back to the Future, I watch all 3, but I don't know how many times I watched all 3 all the way through. So I remember last year at Snowbird, I watched all 3 of them, but ever since then, I lost all the DVDs, so I don't know where they are. I have a whole history of Back to the Future. I have the book of the history. I have the movie of the history. I have this cartoon series. I have Back to the Future Part 1, 2, and 3. I just lost all those DVDs. And my Once Upon a Time DVDs. I don't have my Season 1 DVDs, my Season 2, my Season 3, my Season 4, Season 5. I have my Season 6 DVDs, but I lost my first 5 seasons. I'm not good at keeping my DVDs safe. I'm hoping to get Season 7 and never lose it. And it's a good thing it's a good thing I had Season 6 for a year and I'm not losing that. But we're going to end this video now. Subscribe if you like Back to the Future. Subscribe if you like Coco. And I'm not going to do the doggy thing, but subscribe. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. This will be just as long as last time. Well, not last time. Not 12 minutes and 12. This one will be like 12 minutes and 12 seconds, but the other one was like 12 minutes and 30 seconds. So this one will be a little shorter, but we're going to end this video. So, alright guys, sorry about that Back to the Future. I wanted to just explain the whole story to you, and I got lost in thought, so hopefully this video is not boring. And I was going to do some other things, but even if I don't, hopefully just telling you the story for those who haven't seen Back to the Future, or maybe helping that, even if you've seen it, hopefully the story was good to watch. The other video was more funny than this one. The reason why I'm not funny in this video is because Brandon's not here. He made me funny, you know, so you might like the other video better, but just comment and subscribe if you like this one. Tell me. If not, I understand. But hopefully I get a lot of thumbs ups, okay? Alright, and we're going to end this video. So, yeah, I'm going to say bye, but I want to wait for a certain time. Anyway, sorry. Alright. Hopefully you like this video. I know it's a little boring, but alright. Here we go. Here we go. I'm waiting for it to say 13 minutes. It has been 12 minutes and 58 seconds. 2 more seconds and it'll be 13 minutes. Dang it. Now it's already 13 minutes because I had to tell you that. But maybe if I do 13 minutes and 13 seconds, which is in like 5 seconds. It's 13 minutes and 8 seconds, 13 minutes and 10 seconds. It's going to be 13 seconds and like 2 seconds. So I'm going to say bye. Bye.